Indie Gamer Chick is saying that she thinks she can beat the game by only buying the vending machines. So the vending machine and the jukebox.
Impossible. I would like to see her try.
I'd like to see her try too, but I know the jukebox is pretty popular, but I don't think it's that popular.
No.
And
because your rent actually increases over time as well.
And you can only buy one of each.
Yes, exactly.
So you can only have one of each kind of machine. We actually do have something going on right now. We got a coin jam, which is actually... I really, really like this mechanic, how you added this, that whenever you get a coin jam on your machines, you have to pick it up and place it multiple times until the jam fixes. And that's really, really awesome. Because, like, that's what you would do in real life. That's how you would actually fix a coin jam.
Yeah, it was I think that was one of the very first things we ever put in terms of machine interactivity, and it worked out so well. People loved that. It felt really satisfying just beating that thing against the ground until the chorus came up.
Although I do wonder, does picking up and placing your machines, do you have to worry about that damaging them at all?
No, it doesn't do anything. That'd be kind of sleazy of us to break their machines more just because you've got a break in the first place.
Alright, I just want to be sure about that. Now, I don't know if we'll necessarily get to it anytime soon, but you do have a mechanic in which that machines, over time, will actually kind of get phased out. Because every now and then you'll get, I think her name was Lisa, will pop up and say, there was a home version of blah 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 released. And if you have that in your arcade, then the value on that and the popularity of that is almost instantaneously gone.
Yeah, I was just trying to, create the reality of the home video game market and how it kind of can eat the arcade market up a little bit. Just one of those kind of color design things you put in just to make everything feel a little bit bigger than it is. Mm-hmm. In general though, game machines totally go out of fashion. I think 12 months is after you place them is when they effectively become no longer popular at all. Some machines actually have like a full 3 months of complete full popularity, and then the tail kicks in. Other ones effectively start dropping the moment you place them down. So, yeah, every single machine's unique. I think every single machine though, even if it's completely zero popularity, after 3 to 6 months they'll actually become classics, and will kind of have a second win, even though the second win is really small popularity. They'll actually still begin generating a little bit of money, and as a result, having a decent library of classics in your arcade affects your arcade's popularity as well.
Now, something I have to say about this is at the moment, we've got ourselves a professional gamer who's showed up at the arcade. By the way, I love this guy's shirt. It is both horrible and hilarious at the same time. But this is another cool mechanic.
We wanted him to be a bit of a douchebag, so... So yeah, that's why that explains the shirt.
Now the cool thing about this mechanic is that, as the tutorial is saying right now, that if you allow him to try to beat one of the high scores on one of your machines, then your popularity will increase over that period of time, but you won't make any money off of that particular machine. So your popularity overall for the arcade will increase, but if that's a popular machine, you won't be able to make any cash off of it, which could eat into your cash flow. And from what I understand, if he doesn't actually beat the machine, you don't get anything. If he does actually get a high score, you don't get anything from this. But if he does beat the high score, that machine's particular popularity will shoot through the roof for quite a while. So it's an interesting mechanic, and there are a couple other things like this that happen. Like there's a guy who will show up and say that, I have been developing this machine, do you want to buy it? Do you want to buy it now? If you don't buy it now, you can never get it. As well as classic collectors who will actually go to your arcade and say, I will give you such and such cash for one of your arcade machines. Were there any of these sort of integrations that you had thought of adding that you weren't able to add? Because there's only about 3 of them from what I have come across so far.
We want to have a hacker guy. He's probably in the 90s, actually no, early 80s even. People would hack Pac-Man machines so Pac-Man would move faster. I think Ms. Pac-Man was one of the famous ones where Ms. Pac-Man moved incredibly fast. in the maze, which is totally different from just the regular version of Miss Pac-Man. So this guy was intended to come in and sell you these kind of hack kind of chipboards or motherboards, and you could put it on any machine in your on your floor. So you could put it any arcade game, you could put it in the top machine. So if your Space Rocks there, its popularity had declined, you could chip it, and then its popularity would come back up, and it would make a little bit more money as a result. So you'd pay like $1,000 or whatever for the board, and then you'd probably make $2,000 off of it, or more, depending upon which game you chipped.
So it could help make, so kind of changing the game, making a more customizable version of the game could help bring its popularity back for a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. I think in the early 90s when somebody hacked Street Fighter 2, you know, those hack versus Street Fighter 2 actually did pretty well. So that was kind of the...
Oh, I think we lost him again. Are you back? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
So, yeah, my family is trying to get in touch with me right now. So, unfortunately, I think I gotta go.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking with us while you could today. I do have to say that $100 for soda is kind of ridiculous. But I really do appreciate...
That's for like hundreds of cans of soda.
True, very true. I do appreciate you being able to talk to us today, Matthew. So far, I've really enjoyed your game, and I'm going to keep the stream going for a little bit longer to help people get more interested in showing the game off, to tell them a little bit more about the mechanics. I really like Arcadecraft so far, and I wish you at Firebase Inc. the best of luck. Do you have any contacts you want to quickly throw out? Twitters, Facebook, anything like that before you go?
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at FirebaseIND. Or my personal one is at Frontline Fire. We have a website, firebase.ca. It's got a little bit of arcade info and so on there. We're working on a new game right now. We're trying to get it in front of some people before we go totally public with it. So that might be something you're gonna be seeing hopefully in 2015. Other than that, yeah, I hope you have a good night.
All right, same to you. No problem.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night. Bye.
All right, well, that was Matthew Lee from Firebase Industry talking about Arcadecraft. Now, I'm going to keep playing the game here for a little bit because, number one, I like the game. And number two, we still got more copies to give out. So, how many more copies do you actually have in the Gamer Chick? Are we doing pretty good on giving away copies, or do we still have a lot left to go? I am actually running out of money. This could be bad. But if I empty some of these machines, I think I should be okay. The cheapest machines, from what I've seen, are what, like 2,500, 2,500? Oh, we're nearing the end of the batch of codes that we have for Arcadecraft. So if you want to get yourself a copy of Arcadecraft, go now. Talk to IndieGamerChick on her Twitter, which is at IndieGamerChick, to grab yourself a copy of Arcadecraft. It is not a contest. It's first come, first serve. If you want it, you gotta pull the trigger now, or it might not be there later. Okay, so the highest score was actually beaten on the Swing Casino pinball machine. So that means that this machine's popularity, as you can see by the stars under the words Swing Casino, is actually very, very high. So, and I do have 5 out of 10 machines, so I would like to get enough money to buy some more arcade cabinets, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Let me check my... The Arcadecraft can do an event where you get a free machine as part of games. Ha! Can do a free machine as free machine. Do you mean a free machine in the game, or free machine as in a free actual arcade? You know what would be interesting? An Arcadecraft arcade machine. I don't know if that could work. I honestly have no idea if that could work, but that would be funny to see. That'd be interesting. Something that I was a little bit sad about Arcadecraft is the fact that you can't play any of the arcade machines in Arcadecraft. It's kind of sad. It's really kind of sad. I really wish I could play some of these pinball machines. I understand why it's not there, because it's not the main focus of the game, but still, it could be cool. It could make for some interesting mini-game stuff going on. Oh, there was a power failure. Now, power failures can happen every now and then. Whenever a power failure happens, you have to place all of your arcade cabinets again in order to get everything back turned on to make sure that you can keep on going. Release an Arcadecraft machine in an actual arcade. Immersion! It just keeps on going. It keeps going. An arcade cabinet of Arcadecraft in a real arcade. In Arcadia. I don't know of any places that says like arcade in the name. Unfortunately, from what I've seen, though, there's only the one building, so I think there might be more buildings from what was shown off on the Steam page. I'm not completely sure. Oh, here's this guy. But from what I understand, there's actually only one building that you can put all of your arcade stuff in. You heard you can actually play some of the games. Really? From what I've seen, Robbie the Rabbit, you are not able to do that, so if you know that there's a way to do that, we'd give it a shot. But I'm trying to play some of the games actually in the game, which would be interesting. So this guy here, he's going to try to sell me his game. This is basically like your Nintendo. Big Nintendo stepping in here trying to sell you a game. The only thing is, while they are pretty good, and they do actually add some interesting things to your popularity, they're also pretty expensive. Now, the question we have right now is, do I pull the trigger and actually buy Exemplar, or do I not do it right now? I think what I'm going to do is actually pull the trigger. A couple of the games are also X-Blig, such as Orbitron and Bad Caterpillar. That's kind of cool that they get actual games that are then featured in the arcade. What do you think, chat? I'm going to leave this up to chat. Do I buy this machine from this guy, from Kenji Hayes, or do I just go on without it? I have the money to buy it right now, but I'm not going to have much in the way of cash if I do purchase it. It's about mid-month, so I have time to try to get enough cash to pay my expenses, but then again, it could be bad. What do you think, chat? Indie Gamer Chick says that I should skip it, which would make a lot of sense, because I believe it's a sit-down machine that actually takes up 2 spaces. Anybody else want to throw their opinion in the ring before we actually do skip it? Right now, since Indie Gamer Chick's the one who said it first, we're going with what she says, unless we get 2 votes to buy it. Anybody? Anybody? I'll give you a few seconds here for the Twitch delay to catch up. Alright, we're going to skip it. Oh, he'll be back next summer to offer us another game. So it seems like every summer he comes back to offer us a game. When I was playing this before, I actually bought his games, and they performed pretty well, which is kind of nice. The good thing about them is that they seem to be the same game all the time. The last time I was playing it, it was the same game as well. So if you don't have a shooter, you can pick it up right there. Trident. Should I buy it? What's a cheap one? Do I own? I don't own either of these, and here's another sports one, so we'll buy this one because it's cheap. And it's another machine, so we'll buy this cabinet. It's a little bit older. It's a little bit older. Due to the layout machines with popularity, place your machines against walls or other machines and try not to leave empty space behind your machines. Make sure that you get that bonus. Kenji the Arcade Peddler. Yeah, pretty much. Now, even though Matthew was talking about the fact of changing the difficulty and price, quite honestly, I have yet to find a real strategy to Arcadecraft besides just not messing with difficulty or price. Keep it at medium, keep it at 25 cents, and everything seems to work out okay. Anytime that I've ever changed it, I have pretty much instantly regretted it because everyone goes to hating it right off the bat. Oh, no you don't! You're out of here! Get out of here! You don't have none of that. Well, the server has been updated? Okay. Manufacturer. Stop telling me that things are coming out, okay? I can't afford it! I have no money! Either give me money to buy it, or shut your face, lady. Thank you. Thank you very much. Every time. Every single time. I only have a certain amount of period of time to make enough cash. I need to make at least, I believe it's 14,000. Oh, no. Ah, dang it. I missed that. I need to make at least 14,000 by a certain period of time, or I can't pay my loan back. And if I can't pay my loan back, then I pretty much flat out lose. You know what? We'll take quarterback sack a little bit easier. Let's see how that goes. Lead bullets is pretty